Good morning and welcome to day one of SICSS-Howard Mathematica. We had the weekend, got everyone situated. Hopefully you've shaken off some of the nerves, and we are going to jump into our curriculum. The assigned curriculum for the institutes was originally created by our founders, Matt Salgonic and Chris Bale. Our site over the course of last year and this year have added tweaks and additions to make it our own, to create an opportunity for a unapologetically Black space that is supportive of our participants and their strives to address anti-Black racism and inequity in their research, and also for many of us in the ways that we live our life. I want to remind you as you enter the space to be who you are, and as you are enough. What you have to give and the questions you bring to the table are enough. Make sure you are taking care of your biological and technological needs as they come up. You should eat whenever you need to, on camera even. Turn your camera off if you need to. We hope we see your children, your cats, your dogs, if your parents walk by. We are human, and we expect you to bring that humanity to the space. I want to remind you that everyone is a student here, no matter what your title, no matter what your business card says. If you're humble bragging in the chat box right now, which we invite every morning alongside folks responding to our question of the day, which Ava should have dropped in the chat box. I believe it's where would you like to travel? I want to remind you that whatever it says on your business card, you are a student. So we take a student and a learning posture here. Your only responsibilities are to be students. So my team here, we've got the admin stuff, we've got the tech stuff. Sometimes that can be a distraction from the work. So we invite you to take a learning posture and stay in the work. Set your personal intentions for today. Start thinking about what your personal intention is for this institute. Is there something specific you want to learn, a skill you want to begin to master, or do you think you just want to drink all this in from the fire hose? That was my goal when I attended SICSS Princeton in 2019. I wanted to get the big picture because there was just so much to learn. So what are you trying to learn? Or do you want to, and I want to remind you all, you can revisit all of this after the institute. It's all recorded. So if you're like, I missed that, you can pick it up later. So is there a project you want to collaborate on? Do you want to interact with our alums as well as each other and figure out, a next project? Do you want to get comfortable asking questions confidently? Is it practicing R? Set your intention for today. It can change tomorrow. It can change midday. It's yours and yours alone. I encourage you in this space to run your own race. So our question should be in the chat box again. So where would you like to travel? If you have any humble brags, you got in some reps at the gym last night, got a good haircut, got published, got full professor yesterday. That's not possible because we're all junior scholars in here, but please share that. I have a few announcements before we get into the work today. I want to welcome you to keep an eye out on Slack this week. We're going to have some notes from our sponsors. Those will be posted. You are loved and admired and appreciated for your toil. You are magic, and they will be telling you about that. Faculty will be joining us for a couple minutes every day to say hi and offer some words of inspiration starting this week. Our first person, which you will see right before we start, is Terry Adams. Terry Adams will be joining us at about 25 after the hour to offer some advice and some support for your way forward. I want to remind everybody, if you happen to arrive during a recorded session and you don't see your colleagues' cameras on, to keep your camera off and stay muted in case there's live video happening. We're going to try our best moving forward from today on to have everyone on camera when our speakers are on so we can see our big, beautiful community. But if you're not sure, you can always write to our tech support, that would be Merlin, and check in and see if we're cameras on or cameras off. A reminder to arrive on time. We start right on the hour. We want to give you longer breaks and get you all acclimated and get the logistics out of the way so we can spend our time on the work. So please try to arrive on time. We're going to start right on the hour. Reminders, and these things are up in Slack for you. Please sign up for lunchtime discussion, guest speaker discussion and our panel discussion. I think I said all three of those. So you're expected to sign up for 2 lunchtime talks to watch the videos and come up with questions, 1 panel, and also 1 guest speaker. If you sign up for panels or situations where there is more than 1 video, please note which video you're going to watch so we make sure we have full coverage. I want to thank you all for filling out your knowledge assessment survey. So after today, we're going to be breaking you up into groups, different groups every day to work on different activities, and we want to make sure we spread our knowledge across those different groups, so we don't end up with one team that has, like, a ton of experience and others that don't. We also are trying to make sure that every day you're interacting with new people. So hopefully when we go into our exercises today, you'll note that you're spending time with new people. We're trying to do that. Also, I want to thank you all for filling out the consent form. So everything is basically recorded. So we want to make sure we have your consent for that. Please write me directly if there's a particular situation or an instance where you would like to not be included. We want to make sure we honor folks' experiences and expectations. We're going to start quoting folks on social media. If you would like us to share your quote with you before we do that, please let us know. You can write directly to me on Slack or send us an email at the SICSS email account. We'll make sure we honor those things for you. I also want to let you know that we're going to start our 90 seconds of fame today. So everybody's like, I signed up for that a while ago. What is that? Rebecca will be able to report, and Rebecca's going to be our first person today. But to make sure everybody's comfortable and this is not a big deal, I'm actually going to model the 90 seconds of fame today before we send Rebecca off to do it. And some of our alumni TFs, which are going to be today. So you'll see Todd and Regina are on screen with me, or you see them in the room. Todd and Regina participated last year. Todd is at UVA, Regina is at, go Bears, Berkeley. They will tell you a little bit about their experiences throughout the day. They'll pop in and out of your rooms to check on you. They are here because we deeply believe in investing in folks that have been part of our SICSS, not just in the year that they are with us, but going forward. So you'll continue to see folks all week who were in there last year who can share their wisdom. You may want to ask them about their research and research projects. You saw Todd present yesterday about his funded research. You may want to ask him about other research he's doing, same with Regina. We are going to share, if we have not already shared, a list of all of your 3 research words. I think, I don't know if I did include that in Slack this morning. Everyone's research words and bios are now up on a sheet that is linked in Slack. We've also included all of our alums in there too, so you get a sense of what everybody at our site has worked on, and the type of people you might want to build connections with. So just so you know, what is listed there is what you filled out in the onboarding form to SICSS Central or to SICSS Umbrella. So if some of you ask, how do I know if I got that filled out right? If you got it filled out right, your name is on that list that I circulated today with your 3 research words. So your bios and your research words are there if you filled out the form. If you have not filled out the form, hop on Slack and fill that out. That form again is to get you into the huge people database. So you people will, across all 6 sites, this year 33, but I think we're well over, we might even be 50 now that have existed all sorts of places in the world. So make sure you get that filled out, and you'll know if it's filled out because you'll be on that list. It may not happen immediately. We are manually moving those over. So if you're not on the list, please fill out the form. So I want to leave some time for Q&A today, so I just have a couple more things to add to our list. One of them, of course, is our daily Keep, Start, Stop slides, so we're going to go over that. We'll also go over the schedule, and we'll open up for questions while we wait for Terry to join us for daily inspiration. So if we can share the Keep, Start, Stop slides, Ella, and we'll go over those, and then I'll spend some time on the schedule. So please share the Keep, Start, Stop slides for us. Thank you. We're looking at P2P day 2. Great. So as you know, we'll do this every morning. We will take a look at the things that you feel we should keep, the things you feel like we should start, the things you feel like we should stop, and any other advice. We're super transparent about that. We want to hear your feedback. We want to get better. And if I have an outstanding question about something, I may throw that back out to the group, and these are anonymous, but if you could tell us who you are, if we're not able to resolve it, or fill it out in the next survey the next day with more information. So like somebody asked for a master file yesterday and we don't know what they were expecting. So if in today's Keep Start Stop, you could tell us what you're looking for, we'll try to do that. Okay. So keep all the formats, reminding that I and others are human beings. I got you on that. The welcoming attitude, everything is well so far. Alumni research and progress panel, people like that. You're going to keep meeting our alumni. We're working towards 100% participation from folks from last year. Can't always do it, but you're going to see a ton of people who did this last year in this space. And I encourage you, as Dr. Robinson and Dr. Robinson, I'll just go first names, Randall and Jeffrey both said, it's important to network. So ask these people for email addresses, connect with them. Networking can be a dirty word sometimes, but we all need to do that in order to be successful in our chosen careers. So please ask them for contact information and stuff. Focus on wellness throughout this intense training. Yes, we're going to keep giving you breaks. You'll notice that everything that involves me talking about administration is about to get shorter, and your breaks are going to start to get longer. So we're going to try to give you as much opportunity for personal wellness as possible. Let's jump to the start slide. So we've got, I am satisfied, don't know yet, no ideas yet, include a lot other alumni research that they are doing with what they learn, not just necessarily funded by SICSS-Howard Mathematica. Totally, you're gonna keep seeing our alums. You've got 2 more in here today. We wanted to start with the end with the funding. But by all means, ask people questions about other things that they're doing beyond that. The funding piece becomes particularly important this year because we recently found out that our main site, the umbrella site, is not able to provide funding outside of their own site. So Duke will only be funding folks at Duke this year. Normally that's spread out and anyone at any site can. So the funding piece is something that is very, very unique to our site. And is something that we're quite proud of. But I encourage you, if you want to know about other research beyond what's being presented, send a question, ask for email addresses. We encourage you to continue these conversations outside of this space. Okay, let's head to the stop slide. Nothing. 10 a.m. meetings could be shorter. I got you. 30 minutes today. Ask and you shall receive. If someone asks for a pony, I'm going to work on that. So ponies, puppies, I'm a big fan of sloths. So if you ask for one of those, we'll work on it. Okay, I understand getting everyone up to speed, but next time try not to have this on Father's Day, especially for new and young fathers. So heard, totally understood, supported. We definitely wish that was not the case this year. The timing was just kind of what it is, but we want to make sure that folks don't feel extra tasked or taxed by these things, due to not having time off. So for all our, fathers out there or folks that are, play fatherly roles or are mentors or uncles, we see you, we honor you, and if we had a chance to do it a different way, we would have. And I apologize, and we apologize for that, of course. And I hope you were able to find time to spend with your family yesterday, and folks, whatever your experience with Father's Day, were able to find some time yesterday. All right, let's head to our next slide. So our final, anything else? I'm excited every day with having good time with new friends. Yes, networking is just new friends. What do you have in common with people here? My favorite question to ask is, where are you from? Because I feel like I'm always looking for people from Buffalo, number one, because I am a major Buffalo booster. Love Buffalo. My undergrad and one of my masters is from Buffalo. I love figuring out commonalities, and for anyone afraid of networking, that's all it is. It's just like making new friends and commonalities. Even if someone's further up the food chain than you are, you'd be shocked how many things you have in common with people if you ask. Thank you all for the work put into this. I appreciate your energy, enthusiasm, and hard work. Our team is having hopefully just as much fun as you are. We gather a few hours before we see you every morning to make sure things are in order and hang a bit of time afterwards. And usually we haven't started the music yet, but there's usually dancing and music involved. We have a whole lot of fun, and we're glad that you are having fun too. For the R beginners, thank you for the time with Evan and Jose. They did a masterful job working with beginners to get us up to speed. You are so welcome. We had a last minute change. I think it's important to be transparent. Our original R workshop person got COVID. So we made a switch about 3 days before the Institute. So when you fill out your survey to Evan and Jose, please keep that in mind. They jumped in at the last minute. Shout out to David Harding at Berkeley for telling me about Evan. and did this for y'all. So if you felt that was masterful, just realize it was masterful at the last minute. So we are very happy that our original, our workshop person, Catherine, who's at Cornell, is feeling better. But it takes a village, and the two of them, I'm super appreciative of what they did. All right, we can drop the slides. Thank you. Ella, can you put up our schedule? That's our next bit of work. Hopefully, you'll notice we're moving at a faster pace. Do it half hour, concise. Okay, so let's take a look at our schedule, or look at today's schedule. We'll have time at the end of the day today to go over tomorrow's schedule, and we'll do that every day. So end of the day, we'll look at the next day's schedule. Beginning of the day, like today, we'll start and look at today's schedule. So a reminder that all of your pre-arrival materials are linked at the top of this document. So you can find the videos, you can find the corresponding slides, the link to the boot camp. So if you're getting up a little early and just want to review it, or our first principles, it's all there. We added that there to make it easier for you. There's also a takeaway sheet there that goes over everything from the textbook, and also the everything related to information for today. You'll notice that commenting is turned on. If you catch a mistake, let us know. We'll update it. It takes a village for stuff like this. We're the only site that provides these takeaway sheets, because I feel it's important, again, to get that big picture. If you notice a mistake, please let us know. Your participant link is always there at the top. We're going to add our TF information as well very soon, but you'll be able to figure out what TFs you'll be with every day, and you can cross-check that with the research list and see what type of stuff they do, read their bio. So we started this morning, 10 to 10:30, Institute Introduction Logistics. Shorter, ask and you shall receive. It is shorter. Then we have a small group discussion for an hour. If you haven't had a chance, you can take a look at what we're going to be doing in advance. And get a sense of that. So you'll be in small groups today talking. You get a half-hour break. Look at that. It's like I was thinking about your health and wellness. There you go. So you get a half-hour break. Then you come back, hopefully with lunch in hand. And we're going to do the getting the most out of your SICSS-Howard Mathematica experience. That's an evolution from last year, where it was just getting the most out of your SICSS experience by alumni of color. We actually have alums now at our site that can tell you about our site. So you'll see Professor Janeria Easley, Felix Owusu, who's a postdoc, and then Maxine, who is a PhD student. So we're hitting all three levels with this panel. You also have your alumni TFs in the room too. While they won't be part of the panel, they'll probably jump in and ask some questions. They're going to help me with the introductions and stuff today. It's the first time that's happened at our site. We want to create and make space for opportunity for our alums, not just give you these CSS skills, but also keep you engaged and involved in the fold of what we do. I'll be moderating that panel. Then we'll give you, look at that, it's another half-hour break. Again, it's like I want you to have time to meditate, or hang out with your children, or take a walk, or walk your dog or something, half hour. Then you come back, we will do a case study. I'm going to work on getting those hyperlinks on there. It looks like they're not on there right now, but they will be there, or we'll drop those in the chat box for you. Then we'll do debrief and logistics at the end of the day. We'll introduce the site project, the specific project we will be doing here on Friday. So normally sites do a mass collaboration exercise on fragile families. This year we decided with the goal of making our site focus on anti-Black racism and inequity to found our own project. So we will talk about that. It connects with one of the projects you learned about yesterday, one of our funded projects. So you'll learn about that mass collaboration exercise. We'll introduce that, and you'll be able to start thinking about it before you do the work on it on Friday. And then we'll take another little break there. We'll get in 15 minutes. I suspect that introduction to the new project will probably not take that full half an hour, so you'll probably get a longer break there. And then we'll come back and we'll have the official kickoff of our event, which will be an intimate fireside chat with the provost of Howard University, Anthony Wuta. We try and honor him in different ways in his Ghanaian background. You might end up with some rooms named after Ghanaian foods at some point. We like to shout him out. He's a huge fan of what we do, and we are a huge fan of him. And you'll also meet another one of our faculty sponsors. You met Nicole yesterday. You'll meet Terry this morning. You will meet Amy tonight, who will be in conversation with Dr. Wuta. So Dr. Yaboa Kwarkame will be with us tonight as well. That will end our evening. So by the time we hit that point, you should feel pretty good in your understanding of what our day-to-day, and you can drop our schedule there. Thank you, Ella. You'll have a good understanding of what our day-to-day schedule will look like. So it will look a lot like that every day this week. So once you get through that, it's like rinse, repeat. You know, there'll be an activity. There'll be some discussion. You'll meet some people, network a little bit, have some time to maybe go to those breakout rooms and get to know folks and people, and then we'll get to work. So I'm going to pause there. I want to open up space for questions while we wait for Professor Adams to join us. Are there any questions? If you have a question, somebody else probably does too. Feel free to just unmute.
I just have one.
Please say your name so I know what beautiful person I'm talking to.
Yeah, thanks. I am Rumeysa from Turkey. I will always say it like this, Rumeysa from Turkey. I just have one question. Can we like further give the details about the funding, when to apply, the application criteria and everything?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. So Amber, can you drop the application in the chat box for me, please? So we have, give them the RFP. So we are officially launching our funding today. So the application is due on the 31st of August. So you have 2 solid months plus. It describes what we're looking for. Their essays are there. All the information you need to fill it out, and we're giving you until the end of August to pull together your applications. You can either submit an individual or a group application. If it is a group application, you're meant to do so with at least 2 people from either this site this summer or our site last year. There need to be at least 2 people who are from our site for that. You can also pull in people from other sites. I'd like to encourage you, if you have not done so already, to take a look at the general channel, on Slack. I'd say that there is no one and no site that has successfully built relationships across sites yet. I would like to challenge our SICSS-Howard Mathematica folks to maybe be the first to do that. You can submit an application to our funding that includes people from other sites. If it is a group, there has to be at least 2 people, but maybe there's 1 person from Cameroon in there, 1 person from South Africa, 1 person from Nigeria. You'll interact with them the second week. Or maybe there's an interesting faculty member at your university you want to pull in. You can talk to Todd about that, or Regina is on a team that pulls together a bunch of, Regina presented yesterday also, I think I only said Todd. Regina presented also yesterday with a group project. That is what we just dropped in the chat box for you, is the research grant, the RFP. So please take a look at that. We'd like to give you the big picture in advance, so you have time to think through how you might want to use this experience here to apply. And we'll have time to answer questions for you about funding as we spend more time together. I'll invest a little bit of time later in the day as we talk through logistics. So I want to pause there and introduce faculty, our faculty sponsor, 2nd year in a row, Terry Adams. Terry, please turn on your camera and we will spotlight you.
Okay, my camera's on. Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Terry
great.
is going to offer us a minute of inspiration. Take it away, Terry.
I'm going to do my best here this morning. So I bring you greetings from the Graduate School at Howard University on behalf of Dean Williams, and I serve as her Associate Dean for External Affairs. And as I thought this morning about what to say, I thought maybe I'll talk about self-care, but try to tie it into, you know, this moment that we're celebrating this weekend, Juneteenth. And I just happened to listen to an inspiration this morning that kind of just reinforced that for myself. So as we consider, you know, this holiday, I think it's important for us to remember the history that brought us to this moment for each and every one of us. So think about your family history, the history of the people that look like you, and this historical moment of today. And let's let the resilience of those who paved the way before us be our guiding post. And I don't know if any of you have read Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. I think it's an important one for everyone to read at some point. And I'm just going to read a little bit of it. She says, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons, like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springs high, still I rise. And the poem goes on from there. And the point is to know that you're going to have tough times. Pursuing a PhD is not easy. Working in academia is not easy, but knowing that we stand on the shoulders of those who've gone before us should empower you, should let you know that it is possible, that you can get the work done. And I think it's critical in the moments of self-doubt, because you will have them from time to time, hopefully less than I have experienced over the years from time to time. But it's important to know that you're not alone, that people feel the way you felt before, that have crossed the finish line that you're attempting to cross. And it's really, really important to treat yourself with kindness. And people talk a lot about self-care these days, you know, going to the spas, getting your manicures and pedicures, but real self-care is about treating yourself with kindness and making sure that your inner voice is affirming you and is not destructive. So, you know, think about what kinds of things do you say to yourself in times of challenge, and when you're confronted with something or disappointment. And, you know, my grandmother used to have this saying that, you know, let every knock be a boost to you. In other words, let every challenge be something that springs you forth and makes you pursue even harder what it is that you're attempting to work on. So just think about, again, what does your inner voice say to you normally in those times, and replace those things with affirmative things that make you feel good about yourself. It could be something that's kind and gentle. It could be something that's really strong and, you know, might be crass to someone else. Like, I'm that bitch. I got it going on. I know my self-value. I know who I am as a person, and I'm not going to let this get me down, kind of thing. Whatever it is, have it ready, because you will have those times. And so I think it's really critical to do unto ourselves as we would do unto others. So just be kind to yourselves. And that's my words for today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adams. Please join me in whatever way you would like. Hearts, claps. I sign, so I applaud and sign. Thank you so much, Dr. Adams, for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again later this week.
Awesome.
Have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you.
Everyone, I am going to drop in the chat box our assigned rooms for our first activity. So in room Biggie, we've got Amber, Asha, and Daniel. In room Tupac, we've got Andrea, BJ, and Erica. In room MC Light, we've got Grace, Imani, and Jovante. Room Queen Lativa, Nayantara, Renee, and Susanna, and Naz. Okay, I'm still working on this. Gessie, is that your nickname? Jeremiah and Christina. And room Little Kim is Rebecca, Rumansar, and we've got 2 people in Little Kim. Please head to your breakout rooms. We're opening them now. Take a look at the activity on our website. I am putting a Jay-Z fan in a Nas room. You're going to have to deal with it, Green Bay. By the way, oh, hi, Renee, go Bears. Please head to your rooms and get started with our first activity. If you need help getting to your room, let me know. Thank you all for watching. For more information on SICSS-Howard Mathematica, visit our website, follow us on social media, and join our email list.